Thou shalt not profit off Donald Trump. We're not sure if that commandment made it into those Trump Bibles, but it is a rule that everyone in Trump's orbit is being made aware of today. And it appears that a key advisor, the president-elect, may have broken that commandment. The New York Times is today reporting that Boris Epshteyn, who has played a key role since the election and before in helping Donald Trump staff his new White House and make cabinet selections, has been the subject of an internal review by Trump's own transition team into allegations that Boris Epshteyn has been seeking money from those interested in joining Donald Trump's cabinet, including Scott Bessent, who Trump nominated to be his Treasury Secretary last week. According to that review, Epshteyn met with Bessent in February at a time when it was widely known that he was interested in the Treasury post and proposed $30,000 to $40,000 a month to promote Mr. Bessent around Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump's estate in Florida. Bessent declined, according to the Times reporting. Bessent then called Epshteyn on November 14th to see whether he was criticizing Bessent to people around Trump. The review said Epshteyn told Bessent that it was, quote, too late to hire him and that he was Boris Epshteyn with an expletive swear word between the two names, Boris and Epshteyn. A week later, this Trump story is going to make us all so dumb. I'm going to keep reading. A week later, Scott Bessent was nominated America's Treasury Secretary. So we can assume he will likely be following Trump to Washington. But Boris bleeping Epstein's future in Trump world appears to be in doubt. We're back with Michael Clarenbaught. But what's amazing is when there's actually a line. So there's a line. I mean, like Trump and his kids are like talking about like the thread count on their like Castle Hotel in Scotland and bilking the Secret Service. But but the line is somewhere between that is MAGA ethical and Boris Epshteyn wanting a retainer to do PR for the cabinet fixes. Like, tell me about this line that's emerged and what they did to poor Boris.
Okay, wait, real fast. I don't know if there is a line, though, Nicole. Boris isn't going anywhere.
Oh, so he's not.
No, Boris is not going anywhere. And if Boris does go somewhere, color me surprised. Boris has been here for 9 years in Donald Trump's orbit now. And the transition says that they did the review and they went and they saw everybody's contracts and consulting agreements. And there's no indication that Boris Epshteyn is going anywhere.
So let me just lay out for our viewers the anatomy of a scolding then, because he's been scolded. Yes. They leaked the dirt on Epstein to John Solomon, a very right-wing journalist. And then they planted it on Laura Ingraham. Here, Laura Ingraham is, I guess, pretending to be outraged, maybe, with Eric Trump, who pretends to do the same.
Eric, really quickly, the report by John Solomon today about Boris Epshteyn, an advisor to your father, a longtime advisor, internal investigation by the Trump transition, when they heard allegations from Scott Bessent and others that Boris Epshteyn was allegedly, and we have not confirmed this, was trying to shake down people for access, for contracts, for money. Any comments on this tonight?
Yeah. Listen, I've known Boris for years, and I've never known him to be anything but a good human being. So that said, I will tell you my father has been incredibly clear. You do not do that under any circumstance. And believe me, there will be repercussions if somebody was. So I've never seen that side of him. I've known him for a very long time. And, I certainly hope the reporting's false. And I can also tell you if it's true, the person will probably no longer be around.
You can do it with a 17-year-old twice in one night, but you cannot. Let me see. I have none of it, and I hope the report. What is Eric Trump feigning? What is he mad about? I don't even understand this story.
I think that there's going to be a lot of ethical questions that come from this already in the transition, right? Don Jr. and Eric, they were in Saudi Arabia just a couple months ago, launching a new hotel project, a naming rights deal. They have another hotel project in Oman that is currently underway. I think, look, in Trump world, it is not a secret that people work out these consultancy deals, right?
Rick Grinnell building hotels with Jared somewhere.
There are questions about the extent to which they were working as foreign agents on behalf of other countries over the last last 4 years. And there's people like Boris Epshteyn who are close to Donald Trump, who are taking consultancy agreements to help boost the profiles of some potential Trump allies. And in this case, Scott Bessent was one of them. And I think that that is where the question here for Donald Trump to answer is whether that is actually a bridge too far here, or whether Boris, who has been around for 9 years now, who is overseeing all of his legal teams, is somebody who he keeps in his fold. What do the questions of ethics look like? You know, there
are no ethics. This is not about, I mean, Claire, to your point, harrowing good, $30,000 a month for a billionaire to get good press and MAGA world press bad. Explain.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's the question here is how much is Boris made and how much will he kick back to Trump and his kids? Because clearly, if Trump was making money off of it, or if his children were making money off of it, then it's green light city. That's A-OK. You can hawk Bibles, you can start crypto, you can do all of this stuff that is just bonkers. But by God, if somebody takes 40 grand a month to try to promote somebody at Mar-a-Lago, well, that's an ethical line we can't cross. I mean, it's such bullshit. It's amazing. Just crazy.
It's amazing. It requires us to sort of hold two thoughts. Like, Vaughn's reporting about the FBI being cut out of the vetting process is of supreme importance to United States national security, and it is as central as anything that's happened in the 3 weeks that Trump has fundamentally changed the character of our country since being reelected and serving as president-elect. But it is just as riveting to cover them as a reality TV show that resembles Survivor, and to see what they push out. They obviously push this out themselves. They pushed a story out to John Solomon. They developed some oppo on their own guy and then leaked it to Laura to squeeze in one last score. I mean, to watch them function and cast one of their own out for doing something that crossed a line that they've trampled over so many times in 9 years is just a marvel, Claire.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's silly. And I guess what they were trying to do is wrap him on the knuckles, saying, you know, this is the way we play in Trump land. You don't make money off us. We're the only ones that get to make money off being president or running for president or on the precipice of becoming president again. The Trump family is the only one that gets to make money off that. Nobody else gets to make money off that. That's what they seem to be saying, especially if nothing happens to this guy. If he remains in this tight inner circle, then basically what they did is they leaked it to bring him to heel, not to turn him out to pasture.
Is that your theory?
There are some individuals that would rather not have Boris Epshteyn be in this nucleus. I think that would be an accurate statement to say.
But you don't think he goes anywhere?
Boris has become a part in the last 2 years of this very small nucleus of people around Donald Trump that has been entrusted and Donald Trump keeps reliably turning to. I would be surprised if anything happens to Boris. I don't expect him to go into the government. I don't think that was ever his intention. But I would be surprised if Boris is no longer a part of this circle.
There's no one I'd rather have these conversations with than you guys. Vaughn, thank you for your reporting and for starting us off.